When I start shooting, all y'all gonna clear out.
Today we're going to be following up the patch notes that they dropped yesterday. If you haven't seen it, I made a video and I read through it all. The developers apologize for letting down the players. And something that I didn't highlight then, but I want to highlight now is that apologizing, yes, it's an apology, but that is a different thing in Japan. In Japan, when they say they're sorry and there's this and there's that, it just holds so much more significance. It speaks to how, one, they feel, but two, how we felt about what happened. We were basically calling them all liars and how they mismarketed season 2 as defense when really it was like egregious offense. And if you think about how the players felt that the developers were basically turning into like maniacs. Like they were just going to do their vision, cater to casuals, and screw everything else. That's how the players felt. I did a poll, and I hate to keep referencing it, but I did a poll asking the players if they think the direction of Tekken 8 will change, and they said no. And the reason why players changed is because they felt like that the developers were unwilling to change. The developers were just stubborn. As time showed us, that's not the case, right? That apology, it's a lot. And I think that should be emphasized. Now, we have 3 important tweets from Harada, and these tweets all hit different topics, but they're very powerful. Someone says, why increase health? Decrease damage all around and nerf the inflated combo length. Some moves are so good that they warrant full removal, like Zafina and June's ridiculous full screen mids. Long range projectiles. It's absurd. But then, yeah, some moves definitely deserve to be removed entirely, and I don't know how they can balance them and make them something that's fair. Like, some of these moves are structurally flawed. It reminds me of Fakaram. No matter how much you nerf Fakaram, he is still one of the most kitted characters in the game who has a tool for every scenario, and he was still so tricky and so deadly. How do you nerf something like that? Something that was designed to be oppressive. How do you make that the opposite? Harada responds to this and says, the life bar increase is also one of the measures we have been taking since the time of Arcade's release, when we upgraded DR, BR, FR, etc. This time, season update. Now, also they did this in Tekken 7, and the poking in that game was slightly de-emphasized, but not so much so. The reason why I brought it up in the past videos because with Tekken 8, it's really not about poking at all. So I just wonder how, like, new game, new environment, new mechanics. How will the poking and also what they learned from the past be applied here, right? He says, and of course, completely apart from this, we also be tuning the parameters of each character. We will continue to revamp the entire game as quickly as possible after this patch, and we'll be updating it consistently, so please wait for more information. It's so weird to me that season 2 happened this way. I cannot fathom it. When we thought they were trying to force their philosophy upon the players, everything made sense. But now we see that that's not the case and it's something else. But with that being the case, how did they even ignore all of the criticism? Everything we told them about season 1 ignored, and they dropped one of the most oppressive updates that I ever seen. It's weird because now they have to walk it back and they're not going to revert it. A lot of people were saying revert the update, revert the update. As you see here from Harada, he's confirming that they're going to continue to patch to patch to patch to patch. And 1, how long will this take? 2, how long will the players be willing to wait? And then 3, once again, we're in the same situation with season 1 where we're waiting for something that we don't even know if we'll like. We waited all the way through season 1 for the hopes of season 2 being great, and surprise, surprise, it wasn't. So now, how can you get the players to do that a second time around? The next tweet. Someone says, thank you for listening to the community feedback. Despite the unwarranted backlash, I'm hopeful you will bring Tekken 8 back to an enjoyable place for the players. Harada responds to this and says, I personally do not think this backlash is at all unjustified. I recognize that it is a natural occurrence and we have no choice but to respond by continuing to update the game. A very reasonable take, you know. The backlash It happens. Sometimes games releases terrible updates or they do terrible things and the players get upset. The fact that Harada is just taking it on the chin and he's just like, it is what it is. We just have to continue updating the game and try to make it the best situation possible. I mean, crappy situation, but that's what you want to hear out of the developers. You know, when we're in the heart of all of the chaos, one thing that I said is that the only reason why I continue to have faith is because of Harada. I know he cares a lot about the franchise and about the players. I mean, he was the first person to go to tournaments and interact with the players. He did that before Ed Boon, before any developer, and he does it the most. He goes to so many different parts of the community, and he just doesn't do that just to do that. He does it because he cares. And I keep that in mind when I see Tekken going down the drain, and he's one of the main reasons why I continue to have faith. The next tweet, it says, appreciate the quick updates. Harada responds to this one. It says, the battle team is already developing day and night for the next update. There will be more updates in the future, including parameter adjustments for each character and arts. So please wait for more information. I'm hoping that the arts part is not a mistranslation or a typo or something like that, and I wonder if he's actually talking about rage arts, because this is something that players had a big problem with in Tekken 7, but in Tekken 8 the problem got worse. The rage arts, they cover more range, they recover faster, they do more damage, and also they're longer. The average time of a rage art has increased by about 4 or 5 seconds. In Tekken 7 they were about 7 seconds, in Tekken 8 they're about 11-12 seconds, right? So I hope he really does tackle that whole way that they operate, how effective they are, how safe they are. But then also, if you are going to have these 10-second cutscenes in the middle of matches, maybe you can use it a little less. Less is more. Now, I know there's some people out there who love using rage arts every single round, but I don't. I think 2 rage arts at most per match would be great. Now, the part there where he talks about adjusting characters, I think this one's really interesting as well, because something else about season 2 is that they were trying to highlight each character unique identity, and as we see, they did not do that at all. They added nothing but like plus frame 50-50 stances. They made every character a stance character, and it's so weird to see Tekken goes this way. Tekken is a game that I love because it has so much expression in each character. Each character provided a different thing and a different way to play the game. When I see King, Heihachi, Jin all doing the same thing, I just understand that the game is losing a lot of personality and a lot of flavor, and it gets really boring. That's the thing that people highlight, but I don't think we talk about enough, is how seeing the same flowcharts, seeing the same heat patterns, seeing all of that is so boring. And once you really understand the game and how it works, you really get bored, because you understand everyone's going to do a plus frame mix up, go into heat, and then do another mix up, launch, kill, Oki. Every character follows that blueprint, and it just looks slightly different because of the animations and the color of the sparks. And I think in Tekken, in prior games, the gameplay that you were witnessing was so different, and I hope that they can reach that once again, because boy have they lost it in their pursuit of aggression, but also with the consumption of heat.